Good evening, everyone. It's truly a pleasure to welcome you all to the GBSB Global Business School Graduation Ceremony 2025. Tonight, we come together here in Barcelona to celebrate an extraordinary group of graduates from our undergraduate and graduate programs representing every campus of our institution. Before we begin, we kindly ask that you switch your phones to silent mode and remain seated throughout the ceremony, as movement during the event is not permitted. We would now like to announce the start of the ceremony.
Buenas tardes a todos. Es un verdadero placer darles la bienvenida a todos a la ceremonia de graduación 2025 de GBSB Global Business School. Esta noche, nos reunimos aquí en Barcelona para celebrar a un grupo extraordinario de graduados de nuestros programas de pregrado y posgrado que representan cada campus de nuestra institución. Antes de comenzar, les rogamos que pongan sus teléfonos en modo silencio y permanezcan sentados durante toda la ceremonia, ya que no se permite moverse durante el evento. Ahora, nos gustaría anunciar el inicio de la ceremonia.
مساء الخير، أهلا وسهلا بجميع الحضور. يسعدنا جدا أن نرحب بكم في حفل تخرج GBSB Global Business School لسنة 2020. نجتمع اليوم في مدينة برشلونة لنحتفي بدفعة متميزة من الخريجين من برامج البكالوريوس والدراسات العليا لدينا، ممثلين جميع فروع حرمنا الجامعي. قبل أن نبدأ مراسم الحفل، نرجو منكم التفضل بضبط هواتفكم على الوضع الصامت والالتزام بالجلوس في أماكنكم طوال المراسم حيث لا يسمح بالحركة أثناء الحفل. والآن يسعدنا أن نعلن رسميا عن انطلاق الحفل. Добрый вечер всем. Для меня честь приветствовать вас на церемонии выпуска 2025 года бизнес-школы GBSB Global. Сегодня вечером мы собрались здесь, в Барселоне, чтобы отпраздновать выпускной наших бакалавров и магистров, представляющих все кампусы нашего учебного заведения. Прежде чем мы начнем, просим вас перевести ваши телефоны в беззвучный режим и оставаться на своих местах на протяжении всей церемонии, так как движение во время мероприятия не допускается. Теперь мы рады объявить о начале церемонии. Джаблyi.
Ready? Ladies and gentlemen, good evening everyone. Welcome to the GBSB Global Business School graduation ceremony 2025. Today, we gather in a place with a deep historical meaning, the Maritime Museum, a space that reminds us of Barcelona's long relationship with the sea. But we are not here just for the beauty of the walls. We are here because the sea is a metaphor that speaks directly to the kind of leadership we believe in. The sea teaches us to explore, to navigate uncertainty, to adapt where the winds change, to keep moving forward despite the storms. It links maritime history and the consulate of the sea value with your future starting today. At GBSB Global, we are inspired by the spirit, the autonomy to make decisions, the ability to resolve conflicts through dialogue, and the entrepreneurial mindset that looks not only for opportunities, but for the meaningful impact. Graduation is more than a ceremony. It is just a rite of the passage. It marks the inner transformation you have undergone, not just the acquisition of knowledge, but the shaping of character, resilience, and purpose. And today, we also honor the families and the loved ones who have walked these paths alongside you, because no success is ever built alone. As you move forward, we invite you to practice leadership. This is adaptive, connected to reality, and guided by ethical purpose. Lead not from power, but from meaning. Lead for just yourself, but for the world you are about to shape.
Before we proceed with the ceremony, I would like to respectfully invite to the presidential table Professor Dr. Victor Patena, Dean and Executive President at GBSB Global. Professor Dr. Olga Ivanova, Chief Strategy Officer at GBSB Global. Mr. Antonio Rodriguez Engelman, Managing Director at GBSB Global. And Professor Dr. Hind Nauman, Head of Studies and Academic Operations at GBSB Global. Welcome. It's now my privilege to announce that Dr. Victor Patena, Dean and Executive President, will deliver remarks to our prospective students.
Good evening and welcome to the celebration. It's really a true honor to stand before you today. In this beautiful setting, the Maritime Museum, means a lot to us since we often refer to the consulate of the sea as our foundational myth. For those who don't know, this was the ancient trade agreement between the major Mediterranean countries, including, of course, Malta and Spain. That's why it's connected. It's not just a special day, it's a milestone, a moment of pride for all of us here, and especially for our graduates and the loved ones. To date, GBSB Global has proudly welcomed 1,731 alumni into the world, and today we celebrate the academic achievement of another 371 graduates. Each of you has shown extraordinary dedication and intellectual rigor. You've worked hard, and today you are reaping the rewards of your effort. Congratulations. As you move to the next chapter, remember that you are now part of the global community. Wherever you go, you will always have a home at GBSB Global. To our dedicated faculty and staff, Proud family members and supportive friends and colleagues, thank you. Your encouragement and belief in these graduates have made today possible. As we gather on the brink of new beginnings, we acknowledge that the future holds both promise and uncertainty. But I'm confident that change will lead you to new and exciting opportunities, ones you may not yet have imagined. Many of you are already shaping the future. Let me share just a few examples. Rayan Harter is graduating from MA today and is currently working as a digital innovation engineer at Werfen company. He's passionate about analytics, engineering, and data architecture, turning raw data into powerful insights. Rayan, congratulations. Thomas Barata Mercadel has completed his BA in digital entrepreneurship, while also competing as a professional athlete. Balancing the demands of both sports and academics, Thomas has developed discipline, resilience, and the drive to succeed. Thomas, you make us proud. And last but not least, Anastasia Vichuro is graduating from MA Business Innovation. During the studies, she met Senatipati Bhuvanesh, and recently they launched Stridox, a company specializing in end-to-end web and mobile applications development. The services cover a broad spectrum of technological needs, from intuitive front-end design to powerful back-end systems, advanced cybersecurity frameworks, and AI-powered features that add real value. It's an inspiring example of entrepreneurship in action. So well done, Anastasia and Sinatipati. Well, these stories reflect just a fraction of a talent and drive within our graduation class. Well, GBSB Global is growing and evolving as well. This year, we are expanding our presence, physical presence, and moving to a new campus in Madrid. We have joined the Erasmus Plus program, and we have launched a PhD in innovation management, a major step forward in our academic journey. Before I conclude, I would like to share a brief reflection on artificial intelligence. It's not just a buzzword anymore. AI is really transforming our lives nowadays. Today, it creates presentations, writes emails, composes essays, or even assists with business plans, doesn't it? But here's the good news. AI is just a tool. It's still us, humans, who make decisions. And in business, decision-making is at the core of everything. There are many decision-making models, such as DARE, which stands for decision, action, result, evaluation, and again, same and again. But don't forget, irrespective of the decision model, it's still you who take decisions and act upon them. It's you who decided to do a degree. It's you who dedicated time to complete all your assignments on time, well, more or less. And now it's you who completed the degree. So let AI be your assistant, not your replacement. To all graduates, congratulations. We are incredibly proud of you and excited to see how you will transform change into opportunity and uncertainty into adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Patina. It's a pleasure to introduce the godfather of this year's graduating class, a true reference in maritime leadership and innovation, Mr. Norman Albee. Norman Albee has dedicated his career to leading companies in telecommunication sector with a global strategic vision. His professional journey, now focused on a submarine telecommunication cable project, perfectly mirrors the values we are celebrating tonight: exploration, openness to the world, and the courage to navigate uncharted waters. Under his leadership, the Medusa project, driven by AFRIX Telecom, has become a symbol of distributive innovation, embracing digitalization, sustainability, and continuous improvement. This pioneering initiative in submarine telecommunication reflect the kind of leadership in motion we want to inspire in all of you, our graduates. Mr. Albi has led organization through major transformation and international growth, showing a remarkable resilience, the essence of navigating and emerging stronger from storms. But beyond his impressive achievement, Mr. Albi work connects deeply with the legacy of the Consulate of the Sea, a centuries-old institution rooted in autonomy, negotiation, and the peaceful resolution of conflicts. Having him here today is not only an honor, it's a powerful message. It reminds us that leadership is not just about managing the present, but about imagining and building the future. Please join me in giving a very, very warm welcome to Mr. Norman Albi, the godfather of GBSB Global this year.
Well, good afternoon, and congratulations to all the students that you are here and you are getting graduated. I was on the other side of that place 25 years ago, so it's nice to be. It's nice to see a new group of students in the graduation stage. Okay, why we're here? We're here just to explain you the trip that you can undertake from now. Okay, today you finalize. Maybe some of you would like to continue studying, but you finalize a stage, and then you're going to start a trip. And we are in a place that is a maritime museum. Many ships crossing the Mediterranean and making big things were built in this place. So we're going to explain you our trip and everything that we got around. I think we have a video of what we do. I don't know if they can put the video. Thank you. So what we do, we connect people, we connect continents, we connect families, we connect business, we connect cultures. That's what we do in our job. Of course, we're engineers, but finally, we connect the people. We are building today one of the largest submarine cable systems that we are talking about AI, we're talking about telecommunications, we're talking about digital. But finally, all this AI, telecommunications, and digital needs to get to all the countries. And this is the kind of infrastructures that they fill the gap between where the AI is generated and where the AI can be used. We are a company from Barcelona, so it's a private company. We are not part of any consortium. We are not a public part of the ministry. It's something that we have built ourselves with many years of work and with the support of the European Commission and the European Investment Bank. We are an international company. We have 28 nationalities in the house. We're about 200 people. We operate in a little bit more than 16 countries, services, and we have offices in about 23 countries. I would say that we're at least one of the largest European companies in Africa today, because we connect Africa to Europe. But the ship that we have seen here, the ships that have been built in this building, are the same or are similar to the ships that we're going to take in our life. So let's say that from now on, we're going to start sailing, and when you are going to take a ship, you need to have a clear destination where you go. So the first step is, how do you identify this destination? Okay, each one of you is special on something. Okay, you have a given, each one of you. You might have discovered it, or you are going to discover it, or to discover within the next years. But you have something that is special. There is people that they see something that some other people, they don't see. Okay? And then you have to identify in what you are special, because that's going to make you differential, and that's going to be able to identify, or it's going to make possible to identify your final destination, or at least the room that you want to take in your life. But to make this trip, you cannot go alone, okay? The second thing that is important when you take a ship, the first one is to go where you go, but the second one is with who you go. And here, when you take that trip, you have to choose very well. Of course, you have your family that is going to be always with you. This is clear. But also you have to find the people who is going to be part of that trip. And this is important, because that people will be part of your good times and of your bad times, and it's going to help you to get to the final destination. One ship without a good crew doesn't get anywhere. You don't arrive to the destination without making mistakes. So don't worry if you get wrong. Just stand up and try it again. We were discussing last week with some other people, and they told us, some other business people, they told us, it's more important to know what not to do than what to do. So it's more important to avoid mistakes, but if you make a mistake, correct it fast and just continue, no problem. If you don't succeed, just stand up again and go for it. Geopolitical. Okay, I think that, welcome to the world that we're living today. I think that 5 years ago, we didn't think about geopolitics. Everything was stable, and we didn't have waves. Now, 1 week, we have one wave in one direction. The next week, we have another wave in another direction. Okay, what is important is that we look at the front, and nothing happens if there is one wave coming in one side and then in the other side. We have to be flexible to understand that one day you can get an agreement with one person, the other day you can get an agreement with the other one. Okay? It's important. There is no problem with this. Then, collaborate with the rest of the people. So one ship alone can get it, but one ship alone, the ship needs to get to the ports. They need to change things. They need to get repaired. So we need to collaborate with people. So it's important to identify who to collaborate with. And then there's another thing is that we are talking about AI, we're talking about digital, we're talking about what we have learned when we are in Europe. But remember that we have about 8.5 billion people in this world, and not necessarily everyone has the same needs, thinks in the same ways, or does business in the same way. So maybe if you are in Europe, we are used to online and to do everything online, to send emails, then the people, they answer emails. Maybe in some other culture, this is not what they like. So if you address or you go international and you address some other cultures and they don't answer, don't problem. Go, understand why, and talk to the people. Innovation, we have been talking about AI, so this shift also needs to innovate. And innovation is not to launch a rocket in space. Innovation is every small piece of things that you can do to make a process better, or simpler, or more efficient, or make a new product. And then, last but not least, we will call it sustainability, environment. We live in a world, whatever we do, we try to leave the less impact on the world that we are going to have, because this is the law, this is the world that we're going to leave to our children. For us, our children, for you, your future children, for the ones. So, the trip is alive. Today you are young, but as the time goes, what matters is about the legacy. What will you leave behind? What impact will your leadership leave? I have never seen a generation that has more possibilities and more tools and instruments to change the world than your generation. The world belongs to you. Thank you very much, and good wins.
Thank you, Mr. Albi, for your inspiring words and for sharing this special occasion today with us. And we now turn to the voices that truly define this evening, our students and graduates. Let us listen as they reflect on the journey that has brought them to this moment and the future they are ready to embrace.
Before we move forward, Mr. Norma, can you please join us on the presidential table? Thank you. And now, I want to introduce our Master of Arts graduate, who will share insights on growth challenges and memorable experience. But before that, I know we have a huge diversity today, almost from everywhere in the world. Anyone here is from Lebanon? 1, 2, 3. Okay, looks a lot. Please welcome to the stage Basma Abu Haidar from Lebanon.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good evening, everyone. Faculty, friends and family, and my fellow graduates. Some journeys don't start with a map. They start with a decision to leave the shore. When I first came here to do my master program, I came with a dream, but with a lot of questions. I didn't know what I would find. I was excited, yes, but I was super nervous, like many of us here were. I left behind the comfort of my country, changed my major, and even found myself surrounded by new faces, languages, and expectations. At times, it felt like navigating into unfamiliar waters, with no land in sight. But that's where transformation really happens, not when the sea is calm, but when you learn how to move with its waves. To lead, I first had to follow uncertainty. To grow, I had to let go of who I was supposed to be. But today, standing here among all of you, I know one thing, that it was worth every single wave. At GBSB Global, we come from many different countries. And even though we might not share the same language, or even the cultures. But I have discovered something very beautiful, that we all share the same passion, the same love for innovation, for creativity, and most importantly, for learning. I've learned so much from people around me, from my professors, of course, but also from every culture I have met. I saw how every background has its own magic, and somehow we met in the middle, where our differences became our strength. The sea still lies ahead of us, but today we're not afraid of it anymore. Today we're ready. We're not just graduates. Today we're explorers, creatives, and future leaders. To my professors, thank you for guiding us and always believing in us. To my classmates, thank you for your stories and for your beautiful energy. And to my family, thank you for your support, even from very far away. And before I leave this stage, I want to say something from the bottom of my heart, but in my own language. ما يبدو وكأنه النهاية غالباً ما يكون البداية. This is a Lebanese saying that means what seems like the end is often just the beginning. Thank you, shukran.
Thank you, Basma. And now let's give a warm welcome to Polina Yatsenko from Ukraine, a graduate of a Bachelor of Business Administration and Digital Innovation with Fashion and Luxury Business. She will be sharing valuable reflections on her journey, obstacle-faced, and unforgettable experiences. The stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. Fellow graduates, let's take a moment together. Deep breath in. Come on, just do it. And out. There we go. You survived your dissertation defense, so breathing should come easier now. For those who don't know me, I'm Polina, the president of the Student Council, but more importantly, just a fellow student like all of you. 3 years ago, I arrived here as a 17-year-old girl, wide-eyed, curious, and slightly terrified. Today, I stand before you as a graduate. A bit more tired, far more caffeinated, but without a doubt, wiser, stronger, and incredibly proud. Studying abroad and being part of GBSB Global has been one of the greatest opportunities of my life, and I'm eternally grateful to my parents who believed in me and made this adventure possible. Their trust and support are the reasons I'm standing here, and they are not here, but I want to say it in Ukrainian, «Дякую вам, и я дуже вас люблю», which means thank you and I love you in Ukrainian. It's hard to put everything I'm feeling into words. There is joy, a little bit fear, deep gratitude, and overwhelming happiness. All mixed together like a final group project, only this time it actually turned out well. And today we gathered to celebrate. We came from all over the world. Germany, South Africa, Egypt, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Georgia, USA, Ukraine, and many more. One room, many countries, and one shared moment. But above all, it has been transformative. We learned, we grew, we doubted ourselves, and then we surprised ourselves. We came in with questions and leaving with even more, which is to me the clearest sign that we truly learned something. I want to sincerely thank GBSB Global. Here I met my best friend Arina, earned my first serious job opportunities, and studied under professors who didn't teach us from textbook. They taught with passion and from the bottom of their heart. To our dearest lecturers, thank you for being the heart of the university, for your knowledge, your patience, and yes, tolerating us when we were late, loud, or forgot about our upcoming assignments. Thank you. Some memories I'll never forget. Sticker competition for extra points, drawing on glasses during creativity workshops, and of course, endless APA reminders, right? We almost mastered them, I hope. And the way every semester began, oh, well, this time I'll actually stay ahead of my assignments, and ended, well, this escalated quickly. And I always remember the Women's Day on our first year when the guys brought flowers to every girl. The class debates, which actually turned into therapy sessions, and the moments of uncontrollable laughter shared with professors and classmates which became friends. To my fellow graduates, to whom some of you might be asking, what's now? To that I say, this is not the end. This is the beginning of your next adventure. The world is waiting for your ideas, your resilience, your kindness, and your midnight brainstorms, which actually might become real business. Love what you do and do what you love, so you'll never work a day in your life. I genuinely believe we'll hear all of your names as a future founders, CEOs, creative consultants, or maybe even professors yourselves. It's been an honor to represent you as the president of the Student Council. Thank you for trusting me, for challenging me, and for making this community something truly meaningful. Finally, I want to thank our incredible staff and administration who work behind the scenes, answering our emails, solving our problems, and making sure we have the best possible experience. But without none of you, it would be possible. And finally, once Professor Marçal Ferreras asked us what we would remember 10 years from now. I couldn't answer at the time, but I do remember something he said, and it stayed with me ever since. I didn't know it was impossible. That's why I did it. Let that guide you. Be bold, be kind, and when in doubt, just start. Because what feels impossible today may be already within your reach. Thank you, and congratulations to us all.
Elena, this was an impressive speech. Muchas gracias. Before proceeding with the awarding of the diplomas, let us take a moment to look back, recalling the joyful moments, significant achievements, and the relationships that have been formed. We invite you to watch this special video, please.
Before we move on to the awarding of diplomas, we would like to take a moment to recognize the outstanding achievements of some of our students. These awards are known as the EPIC Student Awards, and they celebrate excellence, dedication, and the spirit of contribution that defines the GBSB Global community. Let's begin with the EPIC Award for Best Academic Excellence, a core value for our institution. This award is presented to a student who has demonstrated outstanding academic performance throughout their studies. Their results speak for themselves, but beyond the grades, they've shown discipline, curiosity, and strong sense of growth. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Excellence Award for Academic Performance, Marieta Plamenova. Merci. Robin Jersey Reis. Sorry. Sofia Luskovaska. Rostislav Laborski. Yanal Alamo Masaraweh. Sorry. Henry Alexander Hennings. Wow. Alisa Strelkova. Christian Kistenmacher. Valeria Brovko. Dina Khoury. Erika Alexandra Gracia. James Edward Rostom. Ana Laura Guzman Ortiz. Brianna De Leon. Khaled Ahmedan. Federico Bernardi. Catherine Barbara Promega. And Maria Catherine Marham. We would like to take a moment to recognize and applaud two individuals who stood out for their contribution to campus life, their dedication to organizing activities, and their unforgettable spirit of camaraderie and constant smile. They truly made a difference in Madrid and Barcelona, and we will always remember them. Please welcome with me Rostislav Laborsky and Polina Yatsenko. And finally, we present the EPIC Award for the Best G-Accelerator Project or Most Meaningful Impact as an Entrepreneur. At our school, supporting entrepreneurs is part of our identity, a true emblem of who we are. We are a business school founded by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs, and we take immense pride in the number of companies that have emerged from our students. Well, students' creativity, determination, and purpose. One inspiring example is the water you're drinking today. So Aguanea, a company founded by one of our alumni. Aguanea is more than just a beverage brand. It's a global movement that transforms a daily product like water into a powerful tool restoring our oceans. Through their work, they help plant thousands of corals each day around the world. With this award, we celebrate those who, like Aguanea, use entrepreneurship not only to build business, but to create meaningful and lasting impact. Please welcome with me Mohammed Abdel Qadir. Mohammed, please. Let's give a big round of applause to all our EPIC Award winners. Your efforts, energy, and impact will always be part of the legacy of GBSB. Congratulations.
We will now carry out one of the most symbolic moments of the evening, the official conferral of your degrees. I will invite Professor Dr. Hind Aman, Head of Studies and Academic Operations, to initiate the graduation ritual, and Dr. Victor.
Will the candidates for the GBSB Global Bachelor and Master's degree please stand up?
Just before you start, make sure your tassel is on your right. Okay?
Your tassel on your right.
Right is.
Right side.
This is your right.
Like this. It should be like this. Are you all ready? Upon the recommendation of the faculty, I present to you these candidates for the GBSB Global degrees.
Thank you. Upon the recommendation of the Head of Studies and Academic Operations, Dr. Hind, with the approval of the faculty and by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors, GBSB Global confers upon these candidates the bachelor's and master's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. As a symbol of graduation, I ask on my signal, not now, in a second, to move the tassel from the right to the left side. Now, please. Great, congratulations. You have graduated.
Now we can sit down. Thank you. Okay, and for the waiting part right now, we are ready to begin the Diplomas Award ceremony. In just a moment, we will start calling the names of our graduates. We will call 3 graduates at a time. Please, when you hear your name, come up to the stage to receive your diploma. While you are on the stage, we will take an informal picture of you receiving the diploma. And once you leave the stage, please go to the photo call to take another picture. After the photo, please go back to your seat. We kindly ask you to keep the flow moving smoothly. To everyone has their special moment. Let's make the beautiful and memorable celebration for everyone. And the most difficult part, pronouncing the names. Okay. Adamir Svetavustar from Ukraine. Alexandra Smart from Britain. Andrea Sofia Zambrano Contini from Venezuela and Italy. Andreas Sebastian Hernandez Montealegre from Sweden. Arina Zechan from Korea. Asia Hukolo from Turkey. Aynaz Ghanem Marami from Iran. Azura Geroni from Italy. Bayan Hussein Safi al-Din from Lebanon. Kara Sofia Mihalic from Austria. Carlo Zamit Lonardelli from Malta. Chiara Lazzerni from Italy. Christian Antonio Chrysliger from Austria. Zechan Arina Igrovova from Korea. Deliara Lukamova from Russia. Dina Khouri from Jordan. Donatella Perachini from Italy. Dak Mimva from Vietnam. Elena Ipeknova from Malta. Elena Mirshavleva from Bulgaria. Emilia Slep Atli from Lithuania. Erika Alexandra Gracia from America. Francesca Piloto from Portugal. Ghali Diori from Morocco. Haya Nuruddin from Lebanon. Henry Alexander from Germany. Hur Ali Naim from Bahrain. Hoda Ilauzi from Morocco. Ibrahim Hisham Ibrahim Ali Al-Banna from Egypt. Wow. Ismail Ashraf Farouk Abdel Aziz Al-Sawi. Jana Amro from Egypt. Gina Karim El Gamal from Egypt. Jida Tariq from Syria. Jumana Rifat Ayad Masoud Gad El Sayed from Egypt. Julia Arlene Saikeb from USA. Very hard. Karma Ahmad from Egypt. Kenzie Ahmad from Egypt. Kika Journo Provost from Netherlands. Christian Maher from Germany. Loris Macron Sebillon from Honduras. Leah Chell from Slovakia. Marie Luz Obama Yang from Equatorial Guinea. Maria Jeda Vanalvici from Georgia. Michael Zaik from Poland. Muhammad Ashraf Saad Muhammad Ahmed from Egypt. Muhammad Haroun Menyawi from Tunisia. Muhammad Tamer Ali Ibrahim Arif from Egypt. Olivia Polo Lanik from Poland. Pamela Martins from Chile. Polina Yatsenko from Ukraine. Predrag Berezovic from Montenegro. Ricky Rajpurit from India. Salma Muhammad Ahmed from Egypt. Saif Ahmed Shawara from Egypt and America. Chelsea Ilrar Mayanga from Mozambique. Simone Zampea from Italy. Thomas Barata from Spain. Valeria Porovoco from Ukraine. Victoria Jidrich from Poland. Yara Amin from Egypt. Yasmin El Azim from Austria. Zen Lim from Indonesia. Ask her what is her name. The girl is good. She's not there. Ask her name. Zaha Gabriel Leon from America. Ziva Oblak Bolinase from Slovenia. Our handball athlete Karim Faki Ahmed from Tunisia. Leia Chil from Slovakia. Claudia Alejandra Fernandez from Costa Rica. Diaz Asnaf from Kazakhstan. Master of Science in Management.
And we will now welcome.
It's not working.
Nada.
Los dos, por favor.
And we will. No, it's not working.
Try.
And we, yeah. And we will now welcome the Master of Science and Management, Adnan Amgroud from Morocco. Okay. Axel Leborgne from Norway. Alexei Kriatov from Russia. Alvaro. Done. Okay. Huh? Really? It's not one. It's not one.
Abi? No? No? Hello? Yes. Abi Ann Stancliffe from United States. Adli Leshay from Albania. Asota Diubso from Germany. Ayam Tin from Kyrgyzstan. Alexandra Sampetki from Greece. Alia Tariq Abbas Hussein from Egypt. Amira Hussam Hassan Al-Anwar from Egypt. Anastasia Vihoro from Ukraine. Andrea Banet from Mexico. Ariel Cohen from United States. Ashton Kate Davis from America. Ayman Pervez from Pakistan. Basma Bouhaidar from Lebanon. Benjamin Steinhoff from Germany. Bovonish Sintavi Pati from India. Borbla Katein Timar from Hungary. Brenda de Costa Soares from Portugal. Brett Dean from Netherlands. Brett Eliana Tunas van Mee from Netherlands. Bruna Velia Nunes from Brazil. Bakula Suzanne Odaimi from Nigeria. Caroline Lamberts from Germany. Charlotte Dio from Germany. Danae Johanna Petronella from Netherlands. Daria Petronila from Ukraine. Daria Tertashnana from Ukraine. Dora Urbanesk from Hungary. Dorota Sheporvova from Slovakia. Elisa Velji from France. Elizabeth Walker Higley from United States. Elvira Urkhaim from Russia. Emilia Belavici from Lithuania. Emily Ramirez from America. Evie Verhazis from Netherlands. Fabian Lehr from Germany. Fatma Ben Mami from Tunisia. Florence Koromeik from Netherlands. Greta Mazzi from Italy. Golzan Telebiava from Kazakhstan. Elian Sabosov from Bulgaria. Enis Bokobus from Belgium. Isabella Gonzalez from Portugal. Isabel Benz from United States. Jasmine Fox from Austria. Javier Martinez from Mexico. Jaish Kaptiava from India.
Okay. Well, 50.
51.
Elena Bulatovskaja from Czech. Sorry. Jennifer Collins from Ireland. Jessica Laila Rumadona from Indonesia. Okay. Judith Sophie Ahers from Germany. Juliette Joël Frédéric Claire Hispen from Belgium. Okay. Julia? No. Well, anyway. Justine Carla from Belgium, sorry. Caroline Andrea Zapata Ponce from Honduras. Katerina Kangas, Finnish? Finland. Oh. Katerina Vaz from Germany. Kyla Mary Hare from the United States. Crystal van de Hoven from Netherlands. Lauren Yap from Philippines. Lizelori Josephine from Netherlands, please. Lucia Raquel Dai from China. Madina Pachincheva from Russia. Mara Fabris from Italia. Marietta Plamenova from Bulgaria. Marta Talesi from Italia. Martina Anis Lutfi Anis from Egypt. Monia Boujderi from Algeria. Nadine Hameda from Egypt. Naya Kasses from Syria, pardon. Nicola Malgorosta, from Germany. Oh no, from Poland, sorry. Noemi Jadis Sanchez Gomez from Germany. Olivia Marie Cassel from Canada. Reagan Leslie from America. Ryan Harshay from Tunisia. Ricardo de Varona from the USA. Robin Jersey Reyes from Philippines. Rodrigo Daniel Ares from Spain. Rostislav Labursky from Russia. Sami Ben Mahrez from Algeria. Serena Lodi Rozzini from Italia. Sofia Lutskovska from Ukraine. Stephen Christian Nardo from Philippines. Tekla from Georgia, pardon. Tamas Alois from Sri Lanka. Tinatin Jikitsi from Georgia. Trigian Oliveira from the United States. Valentino Yano from Colombia. Vittorio Badia from Italia. William Farah from Jordan. Yara Mahfoud Mbarak from Spain. Yasmina Abdel Fattah Mohammed Rida Tawil from Egypt. Yasmin Hussein Hiwaji from Jordan. Yasmina Abdel Latif. Yasmina Hussein Hiwaji from Jordan. Zoe Maria Goslar from Germany. It's written. Okay. So, Mohammed Abdel Qadir from Egypt. Same. Zoe Naomi Cosima from Germany. Helena, where are you from? See, I don't have the nationality. Mary Harris from Greece. Okay, pardon. Adnan Magroud from Morocco. Axel Le Borgne from Norway. Alexei Kryatov from Russia. Alvaro Alfonso Sanchez from Peru. Amélie Barbuhova from Czech. Aya Fauzi from France. Ana Laura Guzman Ortiz, British. Aziz Karai from Tunisia. Bartas Slais from Lithuania. Brianna De Leon from the United States. Brian Ministro Fernandez from Luxembourg. Brynhildur Year Jonstette from Iceland. Chloé Chimanyuk from Luxembourg. Daniel Wasser, for you. Edward Garriga from Spain. Elisa Vespoli from Italia. Françoise Betsen from Luxembourg. Gabriela Hebda from Poland. Giorgio Saliba from Lebanon. Giovanni Javier from Colombia. Graziella Camilleri from Malta. Guka Kalandadze from Georgia. Herman Andrianov from Sweden. No? Okay. Ilya Nigau from Moldova. Iona Melina Exarchou from Greece. Itsumi Hashimoto from Italia. Elena von Rudzinski from Germany. Johannes Gottum from Norway. Julia Curtis from Germany. Julia Kulchak from Germany. Khalid Ahmedan from Morocco. Karam Jo Abououn from Lebanon. Karla Kovac from Croatia. Karim Hadrouche from Morocco. Catherine Promega from Austria. Katy Morales from America. Lau Yik Pan from Hong Kong. Luca Ramoskeli from France. Mehdi Fendri from Tunisia. Melek Rmedi from Tunisia, or Melek Rmedi. Marco Antoun Saliba from Lebanon. Mariana Rose Hale from America. Mary Hayes from America. Malouli Ferris from Tunisia. Michaela Sarmut from Malta. Michaela Libormiva from Bulgaria. Michael Brogden from the UK. Midori Kouabara from Canada. Mohammed Abdel Qadir from Egypt. Mohammed Shedi from Tunisia. Nino Akhaleya from Georgia. Nuhailat Shadili from Morocco. Okay. Yours go from Turkey. Sorry. Pedro Canuales from Portugal. Ria Mishra from India. Robert Duxcher from Germany. Sam Texel from Netherlands. Sergio Andre Halman from Netherlands. Sharbina Tahmin Rahman from Canada. Shahbaz Shahnaz Khan from India. Sivert Brendayen from Norway. Sondre Kelvik from Norway. Sumed from India. Svetlana from Greece. Thais Valentin from Netherlands. Sorry. Yanal Alemo from Chile. Ruben Theodor van Stegren from Netherlands. Andreu Sabri Sulaiman Shnuda from Egypt. That's it. Nothing.
I don't have the name.
You don't? Where? Kathleen Nicole Charbonneau from America. أنا ما قلتهاش؟ Yannick Tesidirio from Luxembourg. Benjamin. Where are you from? ممكن أرجع؟
As we come to the end of this beautiful ceremony, I would like to thank you all once again for being here to celebrate the achievements of our graduates. Before we raise our glasses and toast to the class of 2025 at the cocktail area, we kindly ask all graduates to take photos. But first, the photographers, can you please come to the stage? Photographers, can you please come to the stage? Puedes venir aquí, por favor? We will take 2 photos. So basically, the first photo, we will all stand up and take just a normal photo. And the second photo, I will count from 1 to 3. And at count number 3, you have to throw the hats high up to the ceiling, and we will take the photo with the hats up, okay? So first, let's take the first photo. Everyone, please stand up. Ready? Yes, please. Professors, please stand up. Professors, okay. And now I will count from 1 to 3, okay? Just throw the hats up to the ceiling at count number 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3! Congratulations once again to everyone. Now we invite the families and the guests, please, to the cocktail area and see you soon.